All rise. Veuillez vous lever.
Ja, microfoon is on. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are convening today on a highly important occasion to hear the solemn undertaking of 6 newly elected judges of this court. They are Mr. Kibong Peak, Mr. Eden Balsuren Damlin, Ms. Julia Motok, Mr. Heikel Ben Mahfoud, Mr. Nicolas Guillou, and Ms. Betty Holler. On behalf of my colleagues and myself, I extend a very warm welcome to the 6th judges-elect as well as their families, members present. I also welcome the presence in the courtroom of the ICC prosecutor, Mr. Karim Khan, the registrar, Mr. Osvaldo Zavala-Hilaire, as well as the president of the International Criminal Bar Association, Ms. Marie-Hélène Prou, representing counsel for the defense and victims. And I extend a special welcome to the president of the Assembly of State Parties to the Rome Statute, Ms. Päivi Kaukoranta, in order for her to witness the solemn undertakings as required by our rules of procedure and evidence. I also take this opportunity to publicly congratulate Mr. Kaukoranta on her election as president of the Assembly last December. She has vast diplomatic experience specializing in international law, and as such, she is an excellent choice for the eminent position she now holds. President Kaukoranta and I enjoyed an excellent working relationship during the past few months, and I am sure it will be continued during the mandate of my successor as ICC President. While the Court and the Assembly are separate entities and must remain so, it is crucial to have a fluid channel of communication between the two. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the 6 new judges elected by the Assembly of State Parties will commence their 9-year terms of office on Monday, the 11th of March. At the same time, the mandates of 6 judges, including myself, come to an end. This happens every 3 years, and it is all part of the regular periodic renewal of the court's judicial bench. The fact that 2/3 of the bench remains the same guarantees continuity and preservation of institutional memory, while at the same time the court gets an injection of new people. The transition, however, is not necessarily entirely instant. Due to the nature of judicial work, any outgoing judges who are hearing a trial must continue in office to finish the case in accordance with Article 36, paragraph 10 of the statute. However, they will no longer be part of the court's plenary. On the other hand, usually not all of the new judges will be called to full-time duty right away. Rather, this depends on the court's workload. Regardless of this, the 9-year mandate of each of the new colleagues commences next Monday, and they will form part of the court's new composition of 18 judges, which will, as its first task, elect a new president and 2 vice presidents of the court for the next 3 years. Let us now proceed further. Before we hear the solemn undertakings, I invite the President of the Assembly of State Parties to address us. President Courtroom I, you have the floor.
President of the Court, Judges of the Court, Mr. Prosecutor, Mr. Registrar, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a privilege to grace this esteemed gathering today. I, representing the Assembly of States Parties, stand before you to partake in the solemn ceremony of the inauguration of 6 distinguished judges of the International Criminal Court. These esteemed individuals were duly elected during the 22nd session of the Assembly of States Parties in New York last December. Their election, meticulously conducted in adherence to the principles enshrined within the Rome Statute, ensures a judicious balance by encompassing representation from diverse legal systems across the globe, alongside equitable geographical and gender inclusivity. The judges elected are Judge Hague Ben Mahfoud from Tunisia, Judge Ernebal Suren Damdin from Mongolia, Judge Nicolas Guillot from France, Judge Betty Holler, Slovenia, Judge Julia Antoinelle Motok from Romania, Judge Kebong Baek, Republic of Korea. Ascending to the esteemed position of judge at the court is an unparalleled honor, accompanied by a weighty responsibility. Your designation carries profound expectations by the accused, victims, and affected communities, and the international community as a whole. You are charged with the solemn duty of administering justice impartially, conscientiously, in matters of grave international consequence. The credibility and integrity of the court hinge significantly upon your ability to embody fairness, impartiality, coupled with the efficient and effective management of situations and cases. On behalf of the Assembly of States Parties, I extend a heartfelt welcome to you as you undertake this prestigious yet arduous role upon the hallowed bench of the International Criminal Court. Esteemed judges, the tasks before you are formidable, but you do not tread this path alone. While the court remains a relatively young institution on the international stage, it has swiftly matured and secured its place within the global order. The Assembly of States Parties stands steadfast beside you in the relentless pursuit of justice and the eradication of impunity. I harbor unwavering confidence that your invaluable contributions, enriched by your diverse perspectives and wealth of experience, will undeniably fortify this institution and uplift the dedicated individuals laboring within its confines. As prescribed by the tenets of the Rome Statute, your swearing-in unfolds in a public forum. This ceremonial occasion marks the seamless transition of 1/3 of the court's esteemed judges, ensuring the continuum of institutional excellence through the embrace of renewal. As we extend our warm welcome to the 6 newly elected judges, we also bid farewell, a heartfelt farewell to 6 esteemed judges who end their 9-year term at the court, namely Judge Zhang Ho-sheng, Republic of Korea, Judge Piotr Hofmanski from Poland, Judge Antoine Kesiambe-Mindua, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Judge Peter Kovac, Hungary, Judge Marc Perrin de Brichampeau from France, and Judge Bertram Schmidt from Germany. While your respective terms in office are now ending, I'm aware that a few of you will remain in office until the conclusion of the cases you are currently involved in. Nevertheless, at this occasion, allow me to extend and commend each of you for your invaluable contributions to the institutional development and jurisprudence of this esteemed institution. The Assembly holds in high regard your firm dedication to the advancements of international justice. I wish to extend special thanks to Judges Piotr Hofmanski and Antoine Kesiambe-Mindua. Beyond your judicial duties, you have shouldered the responsibilities stemming from your roles as President and Second Vice President of the Court, respectively. Permit me to convey, on behalf of the Assembly, our profound appreciation for the considerable efforts you have exerted in these leadership capacities during very challenging times of the Court. Excellencies, in conclusion, on behalf of the Assembly of States Parties, I extend my sincerest wishes for a fruitful and fulfilling tenure at the Court to the incoming judges. Rest assured, you can rely on the unwavering support and collaboration of the Assembly of States Parties and the broader Rome Statute system. The Court remains an indispensable pillar of this system, steadfastly upholding the principles of a rule-based international order. And to the departing judges, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for your service and wish you abundant success in your future endeavors. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Madam President. We will now proceed to the formal part of the session. In accordance with Article 45 of the Rome Statute, before taking up the duties, the judges of this court shall each make a solemn undertaking to exercise their functions impartially and conscientiously. In accordance with the statute, the solemn undertaking is made in open court. This reflects the public nature of our institution and the transparency of the judicial proceedings, which are by default public as required by international fair trial standards. Let me also note that this session is being publicly broadcast on the court's website, and I warmly welcome around the world who is watching the transmission. I invite the President of the Assembly of State Parties to come forward to witness the undertakings. I invite the Registrar to proceed to the registry branch to administratively oversees the signing of the oath of office. Thank you. I will now invite the judges-elect one by one in the order of precedence, which is determined by the age. The first one to make his solemn undertaking is Judge-elect Mr. Kibong Peak. Mr. Peak, please proceed to the rostrum. Mr. Peak comes to the ICC with more than 30 years of legal experience. He started his career as a prosecutor and later also became responsible for ICC-related matters in the Ministry of Justice of the Republic of Korea, among other things drafting the implementation bill for Korea's ratification of the Rome Statute. After 22 years as a prosecutor, Mr. Peak transitioned to private practice, specializing in white-collar crime, extradition, mutual legal assistance, and cross-border assets recovery. Judge-elect Peak studied law at Seoul National University. He obtained an LLM degree from the Columbia Law School and PhD degree from the Hanyang University. His doctoral dissertation focused on the law of evidence in ICC proceedings, and he authored numerous books and articles on international criminal law.
Judge-elect Kibong Peak, please raise the right hand and take the oath.
I, Kibong Peak, solemnly undertake that I will perform my duties and exercise my powers as a judge of the International Criminal Court, honorably, faithfully, impartially, and conscientiously, and that I will respect the confidentiality of the investigations and prosecutions and the secrecy of the deliberations.
I next invite Judge-elect Mr. Edwin Balsuren Damlin. Mr. Damdin has over 30 years of experience in criminal law as a judge, prosecutor, and defense counsel. As one of the longest-serving judges of the Supreme Court of Mongolia, he has presided over serious and complex cases, including those related to crimes under international law. He has contributed to the legal reform process in Mongolia by providing expert opinions and advisory services on legislation aimed at enhancing the national criminal justice system, as well as the national implementation of the Rome Statute and the Kampala Amendments. Judge-elect Damdin, who received his legal education in the law faculty of Irkut State University, has extensively trained legal professionals in his country on criminal law and procedure, including the prosecution and adjudication of international crimes.
Judge-elect Mr. Ernebal Damdin, please raise the right hand and take the oath.
I, Erden Damden, solemnly undertake that I will perform my duties and exercise my powers as a judge of the International Criminal Court honorably, faithfully, impartially, and conscientiously, and that I will respect the confidentiality of investigations and prosecutions and the secrecy of deliberations.
I next invite Judge-elect Ms. Julia Motok. Ms. Motok comes to the ICC with over 30 years of experience in legal profession, including as a judge of the European Court of Human Rights for the last 10 years, and previously a judge in the Constitutional Court of Romania. Ms. Motok has had a long academic career teaching at the University of Bucharest, where she was appointed full professor in 2002. She has also lectured many other universities in different continents, and she is a member of the Institute of Droit International. She has extensive experience within the United Nations system, including the rapporteur and vice president of the Human Rights Committee. Judge-elect Motok holds a PhD in international law from Paul Cézanne University and PhD in philosophy from the University of Bucharest.
Madame la juge élue, Julia Antoinelle Motok, veuillez lever la main droite et prêter serment.
Je, Julia Antoinelle Lamotok, déclare solennellement que je remplirai mes devoirs, exercerai mes attributions de juge de la Cour pénale internationale en tout honneur et dévouement, à toute impartialité et toute conscience, et que je respecterai le caractère confidentiel des enquêtes et des poursuites et le secret des délibérations.
I next invite Judge-elect Mr. Hague Ben Mahfoud. Mr. Ben Mahfoud comes to the ICC after a long and distinguished academic career standing in 1996. He obtained his doctorate in international humanitarian law from the University of Carthage in 2005, and his research covers a variety of topics, including environmental protection in times of armed conflict, victims' rights, security sector reform, human rights, and democratic transitions. He is regularly invited to lecture at foreign universities as well. In addition to the academic career, Mr. Ben Mahfoud has held several management positions as Director of Higher Education Mission of Tunisia to North America and Director of the Research Laboratory International in European Law and Maghreb-Europe Relations. Judge-elect Ben Mahfoud has also held senior advisory and consultant position in many international organizations.
Monsieur le juge élu Hague Ben Mahfoud, veuillez lever la main droite et prêter serment.
Je, Hague Ben Mahfoud, déclare solennellement que je remplirai mes devoirs et exercerai mes attributions de juge de la Cour pénale internationale en tout honneur et dévouement, en toute impartialité et en toute conscience, et que je respecterai le caractère confidentiel des enquêtes et des poursuites et le secret des délibérations.
I next invite Judge-elect Mr. Nicolas Liu. Mr. Giliou has served as a judge at the Kosovo Specialist Chambers for the last 4 years. Previously, he was Chief of Cabinet to the President of the Special Tribunal of Lebanon, and before that, French liaison prosecutor of the United States Department of Justice, where he facilitated judicial cooperation in criminal and civil matters. Mr. Giliou has also 6 years of experience with the French Minister of Justice, where he held positions such as deputy head of the commercial law section and as an advisor to the minister.
Monsieur le juge élu Nicolas Guillot, veuillez lever la main droite et prêter serment.
Je, Nicolas Guillou, déclare solennellement que je remplirai mes devoirs et exercerai mes attributions de juge de la Cour pénale internationale en tout honneur et dévouement, en toute impartialité et en toute conscience, et que je respecterai le caractère confidentiel des enquêtes et des poursuites et le secret des délibérations.
I next invite Judge-elect Betty Holler. Ms. Holler has spent most of her career practicing law at international and internalized criminal courts. Prior to her election as a judge, she was a trial lawyer in the office of the prosecutor of this court. Before joining the ICC, Ms. Holler worked for the European Union Mission Kosovo, advising international judges in complex criminal cases. She has also served at the Courts of Appeals in Ljubljana. Until recently, she was furthermore Director of Training at the Institute of International Legal and Advocacy Training in The Hague, which she co-founded. Judge-elect Holler holds a Master of Law from the University of Ljubljana and an LLM in International and European Law from the University of Amsterdam.
Judge-elect Ms. Betty Höhler, please raise the right hand and take the oath.
I, Betty Holler, solemnly undertake that I will perform my duties and exercise my powers as a judge of the International Criminal Court honorably, faithfully, impartially, and conscientiously, and that I will respect the confidentiality of the investigations and the prosecutions and the secrecy of the deliberations.
The solemn undertakings of 6 judges of the International Criminal Court have hereby been concluded in accordance with Article 45 of the Rome Statute. On behalf of the court, I extend my warmest congratulations to the newly sworn-in colleagues. Your diverse backgrounds, your outstanding credentials, and your vast and varied professional experience will be a huge asset to the court. One of my concerns as president has been to protect and strengthen the ICC as an independent judicial institution, a serious professional court with high standards, a court that focuses on justice, not politics. I have no doubt you will do your best to uphold those same values during your time at the court. It means a lot of hard work. It means respecting ethical norms and taking great care to ensure the correct application of the law. It means being objective and respecting the equality of forms. It also means disregarding political pressures and withstanding external attacks on the court. It is not an easy job, but I am sure you already know that. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude, please allow me to offer a final thoughts on this last public occasion of my service as President of the International Criminal Court. This is my 4th time participating in the swearing-in ceremony of the new judges of the ICC. 9 years ago, I was one of the newcomers. Then twice, I was one of those who were staying in the court. And now finally my mandate is coming to an end along with several colleagues. Some of us leave, but others will continue the work. Indeed, this ceremony, which is repeated once every 3 years, reminds us that while we human beings, the court officials and staff, come and go, and the institution is here to stay. The importance of the ICC's permanence for the rule of law and the international law cannot be overstated. We no longer have to rely on the political will and the global powers dynamics of the day to create a tribunal for the most serious crimes. As I said, people come and go, but the institution stays. And yet, the people do matter too. At any given point in time, it is the individuals serving the court who breathe the life into its mandate every day. It is those individuals whose task is to turn the words on the pages of the Rome Statute into concrete steps of justice that will make a real difference. A difference to the victims, to the accused, and ultimately to society at large, to humankind. As such, why we should never elevate ourselves above the institution and its mandate. We should equally never underestimate the importance of our everyday actions in the service of the institution and that mandate. As international civil servants, we must take our work extremely seriously. We must do our very best from a professional as well as from an ethical perspective. We must always remember the responsibility which we are entrusted. This is reflected in the 4 core values of the ICC, which have just recently adopted at the court: integrity, accountability, fairness, and inclusion. These 4 values were identified after a detailed consultative process in which the staff of the court played a key role. The core values will be at the heart of the ICC's ongoing commitment to staff well-being. On that note, I would like to use this opportunity to thank the staff of the court for the fantastic work they do every day. I also thank counsel, witnesses, victims, and everyone else who participated in the court's work. And naturally, I thank my fellow judges, whom I have worked closely for so many years. Finally, I must add my heartfelt thanks to states, civil society, international organizations, and all others who stand in support of the ICC. Thank you. I am truly grateful for all your cooperation. Please do not let our commitment waver, even during difficult times. This is when it is needed the most. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of today's ceremony. I congratulate our 6 newly sworn-in colleagues one more time, and I wish them every success in the future service in the International Criminal Court. Thank you all, those who followed this ceremony, whether in person or remotely. The session is thereby closed.
All rise. Veuillez vous lever.